everybody, and welcome to another episode of John Casablanca's stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Keone Stevens, better known as John Stevens, and right now we're presenting our first episode of JC Coach of the Month. And I have here the lovely and wonderful, multi-talented Coach of the Month for August, Layrecia Smith. How you doing, Layrecia?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I know you're doing good. Now, I saw in your bio you said "Go Panthers." I don't think they're doing well right now, so we'll just skip past that part, and we'll get into the celebration of you being coach in the month. So, tell me a little bit about where you were before you had the itch to get into entertainment.
Well, full time, I was accounting for VS Corporation, an aviation company working on military planes in the accounting department before I came with JC. So, what brought me to you guys was, I got bored with my job. I was like, hey, I need something that's more entertaining and more fun. Mm-hmm. So, I was like, hey, I'm going to give it a shot. When you called, I was like, yo, this is for real? But hey, here I am now.
Well, because I got to coach you in acting modeling in another company. And so I've seen you as a student. I've seen you blossom as a student. And then I saw you graduate from student and become talent. I saw you blossom as talent. And then every time I see someone that I think has the ability to coach and mentor people, I always want those people to be in the mix. You know what I mean? And I remember calling you and you're going, I want to do it because I have, but I don't know. And you're a little butterfly, a little skittish. And what did I tell you?
Terrifying. You told me, you was like, you got it. You can do it. Take a shot. I was like, okay. I was terrified.
I thought I said something a little more eloquent than that. Even if I did it, you could have pretended that I said some profound, motivational.
You was quite professional about it. You really was. But I was still scared. My nerves was killing me. So I was still terrified.
Okay. Tell me what it was like that first week of class where we know you got to shadow some coaches and kind of learn how they do things. And then eventually the seatbelt comes off and you're on your own. How was that?
The first class, I'll be honest, I was terrified because it was my first one on my own. I was like, what if something goes wrong? What if something happens? What if someone asks me a question? I have no idea what to say. What if? So all the what ifs and all the nerves, I almost got the best. I got through the first class. So I would say after my first week, I was doing pretty good. I just kept going.
You know why I'm going to agree that you're doing good? Because you didn't have the distinct pleasure like some of our coaches where they started pre-COVID and they had been coaching in person and in class. You started out online, which is not an easy feat for someone just starting out. So I can understand how that first week went for you.
Yeah, what if but I had great people to shadow.
You had what?
I had great people that I shadowed though. So that made it even better.
Awesome. What's been your favorite part about coaching?
Oh man, my favorite part about coaching, it has really been the students. I mean, it's a diverse group of students, all ages, from little ones to elders, and you learn so much about you. So my interaction with the students, with the different JC coaches, I would say that's been the best part of it for me.
I know, especially with the students, because every time preteens pop up, you're like, I got everybody's back. I'll do it. I got it. We have DJ Baby Boy Bori says she's the bomb and the best at what she does. Oh, you've got a student out there that says you are the bomb.
Thank you.
Apparently, I haven't coached him yet.
He know I'm the bomb. He knows.
Talk about that though, because I don't think a lot of people before they receive the coaching understand how much a coach puts into this. It's not one of those places especially in the Raleigh JC, where you just show up and just kind of go through the motions and do it?
Hmm. Well, you know, being a coach and being virtual, it's a lot that you have to put in. It's not like you're in the classroom with them, working with them one-on-one. You're still working with them one-on-one, but you have to like let them know, hey, whatever you need, whatever questions you might have, it doesn't matter if it's a good question, a bad question. When I'm teaching, I let all my students know there are no dumb questions. I say, questions, if it's important to you, it's important to me, because somebody else might have the same question and scared to ask it because it seems dumb. There are no dumb questions. So once I let the students know that and we get familiar with each other, then they're like, hey, I can talk with coach about anything and everything works out fine. And when I say anything, I mean anything as far as my classes goes.
I love it. That's why people are commenting that you're the bomb.com. All right. What's your favorite session to coach?
I'm going to say makeup and improv. Makeup because I have fun doing makeup. Because that's the only time that I go full makeup is when I'm in the class. So the interaction with the guys, the masculine group in the class, is the most funnest because they're, coach, I didn't like my experience. Coach, did I put my makeup on right? I never put makeup on before. And then it's so fun with them. It's very fun with the makeup class, especially with the masculine group. It really is fun. And improv, when I let the students make their own stories, oh my goodness, do their own skits. We have aliens, we have runway, we have Hollywood, we have everything combined. So I would say those two are like my most favorite ones out of all.
I can tell you, well, you have a lot of fun because when I pop in your class, I can't tell if you're doing improv or makeup because I hear the same laughter and the same craziness going on. But I see everyone having fun. But the important part is I see them having fun, but I also see them learning. And I think that's a thing that a lot of people don't get. The experience of I had a lot of fun, but I didn't learn anything. And the experience of I learned a lot and I didn't have any fun are both not so good to me. So I like that there's that mixture of I had fun and I learned, because I think you can affect a lot more of them. So that's awesome. Now, are there any students that you and I know students, there's so many, but is there any students that just pop out of your head that you just enjoy to death?
Oh my goodness. Yes. What is my class? It's one of my preteen groups. It is what is that child's name?
It's one of it's your the Saturday class you used to have at 12.
It's one of my Saturday class. Yes. And it used to be, I think it was 4 girls in there.
You don't even have to say the names. I think if they see this video, they know exactly who we're talking about.
Yes, I'll be honest with you. That's like my favorite of all.
Right, I think Haley was in that class, right?
Yes.
And you had
that's a small group.
Yeah, you had the little 6-year-old too, Candace. Oh wow, awesome!
So cute. And and then I have my older group. The one with Billy in it. I think it was Billy and what's her name, Miss Barbara, Veronica, or Miss Barbara, with the flower in her hair.
Oh yes, I know.
And that's the great. Yes, she showed up to class today with her flower. I said, "Where's your flower?" She said, "Oh my gosh, did I forget it?" I was like, "Yes, we need to see the flower," because she color coordinates her flower, and it's so beautiful. So I love those classes. I love all my classes, but just to put me on the spot, I picked those two.
Consistency. You know what? When you can notice things about a class that makes them feel important because you're remembering the student and you're getting, because I'm like one of those people. I'll remember faces before I remember names. So many people go, "You know my name?" I was like, "No, but I know who you are," right? And so that's the thing.
Right.
Yes. Well, Coach of the Month is because the month of August, you did such an exemplary job. You were the weekend savior, weekend warrior, whatever you want to call it. We already know you do almost all the shifts on Saturday, and we had so many issues. Whether it was a storm, whether it was someone's power going out, whether it was someone getting sick. And all the times that you weren't even available to work, I would call you. And everyone out there listening, I never pressure coaches to fill in for someone. I just call them and ask, can you cover? And Layrecia has been at a restaurant eating. And I'm like, hey, can you help me out? And she says, well, what time? I'm like, at 12:15. She goes, John, it's it's 9:50. I mean, it's 11:50. I said, I know. She's like, okay, I'm getting my check. I'm on the way. And I hear her calling for a check and run into the house and getting dressed and in class. So you did such a great job. And that's not saying that our coaches have to drop everything they're doing when we have emergencies, but I just recognize that part of that month you're doing so well. Tasmania says she is amazing with the preteens. Everyone can't handle the little ones. That is so true. It's not because they don't want to. Preteens take a lot of energy, right?
Yes, a lot of patience. A lot of patience.
Well, it's
They're
that thing of you're not in person and you're trying to hold their attention for 2 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do
So, and even when say what, John?
No, I said go ahead.
I was gonna say, even with the preteens, when you're trying to hold their attention for 2 hours, you get through the material and you don't want to seem like you're repeating the same thing over and over. So at that part, I just be like, we're gonna have some fun with the class. I go by, I ask each student, hey, what are your plans? What do you want to do? Acting, modeling, tell me why. And they're so smart and they tell me why. So we're still incorporating it in the class, but I'm just getting a feel of what they like to do, what they want to do. So the class isn't boring and I'm not repeating the same thing over and over. And it works out fine.
That's a good technique because a lot of preteens and kids are so used to people telling them what to do. And you're like empowering a 7-year-old to talk. You're empowering an 8-year-old to talk. You're empowering a 9-year-old to talk and work through the process. Pedro Lugo, hey, Coach Pedro, he was saying the group that you were mentioning of students, he said that's a great group of students. DJ agrees with you, and then he's showing his love again. Love you, Coach Risa. All right, DJ, let's check those progress.
Yes, we love you too, man.
What are besides the first week that you coach, because we know that's a nervous and very hectic part for a lot of coaches mentally. What has been something that you've had to work through, while coaching? It doesn't have to be something specific or anyone's specific ailment, but what's just a time that you had to work through something, and what did you do to get through that?
Oh man, let's see. I think I'm not gonna call any names, but a lot of classes I teach, we always have maybe one student who's being bullied, or they have some issues dealing with depression, anxiety, things of that particular nature. And the hardest part about teaching those students is you're trying to get them comfortable with the class, but they're not feeling comfortable with themselves. So then, I talk with them. I say, hey, I want you to feel comfortable with yourself. None of us are perfect. We all work together. We're all going to get through this together. And it's like, sometimes I even place myself where I get a little too close with the students, because I look at these students, a lot of them, and I think, I say, oh man, I'm a mom. So if my child was going through that, how would I help them? Because let us not forget, first and foremost, although I am a coach, I am a mother first. And I think that's why me and my students, we interact so well together.
Now, you and another coach who hopefully will be up here one month, Coach Tila, a lot of the coaches, a lot of the students say they're so loving and caring. They break everything down for you, but they do know how to turn on that mean mama face when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. That's the comment.
But you know what? But they respect us and they learn in our classes.
Yes,
they do. They respect them. You have to give them a firm look sometimes, because if not, they'll take over the class. So you have to.
I love it. I was in one of your classes and someone was just giving a laundry list of excuses to why they didn't do something. And I just saw your face turning and turning and turning. And then when they finally looked at the camera and saw you, they just stopped talking.
Of course. We're not going to have that, because the excuse after excuse after excuse. No, just do it. Just do it. Because you're not going to get anywhere in life if you don't listen and you be like procrastinating. You got to stay on track so you can make something out of yourself in life. So yes, I get on them sometimes. I have to.
This is true. Well, that's what part of being a good coach is. And then you've got the coaching part knocked down, and then you have the mentoring part locked down. How important is it to you to know that that mentorship is the biggest part? Because me and you have talked about this a lot. We always say, if the only thing I teach you is acting modeling, I've taught you nothing. So how big is it that you love that coaching part, like the communications class that we do?
Oh man, that's a fun class. I love that class. I mean, the communication class, like I said, you get with the students, you interact with them, the one-on-one. And, if you have someone who doesn't understand what's going on, I've even participated sometimes with the students and say, hey, let me have one, and we'll just demonstrate how it's supposed to be done. And we interact, we demonstrate, we get it taken care of. And as far as the communication goes, and even if I have to interact and communicate outside of class, sometimes we're in class maybe 2 to 5 minutes early so I can interact with them, because if you can communicate with someone and help save someone's life, that's always positive. That's always a big thing.
Always a big thing. That's so true. The communication skills. And then we have the building self-confidence. I know you touched on that a little bit. Yeah. But talk about how important that section of the life skills portion of our course is.
It's very important. It helps you deal with life in general. So it's not just about acting and modeling. Things that are taught in the life skill part, of the program, you can use it throughout life. And it doesn't matter what age you are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the big thing, right? So when we think communication and self-confidence, we always think, oh, that needs to be given to the children or the preteens or the early 20-year-olds. Right. You approach a lot of people your age and older, your age, 27, and older. And what's that like trying to teach someone? Let's take it back. What's that like trying to coach someone who's older than you about confidence?
Ooh, it depends. And the reason why I say that is because you will have those that are older than you, and because they're older, they think they know everything. So that part, I'm serious. So then you have to break it down, and you have to be like, ma'am, sir, I'm sorry. But, if you look at it this way and you look at it your way, which way seems like it's probably the more better way to do it. So that's how I interact with my elderly students, because I'm not going to be disrespectful, because I wasn't raised to disrespect my elders. So you will hear me say Miss so-and-so or Mr. so-and-so. So the ones that are older than me, I would say Mr. or Mrs. And that's how we would interact. Now, for the ones who cooperate with me, yes, I did say cooperate with me, we have fun. And even if I'm teaching and they're saying, yes, we understand. If they give me that look like how my mama gives me, I'll say, well, can you tell me, what are your thoughts on this situation? Because I take their thoughts and my thoughts and, I incorporate them into class, and, we have fun with it, because everyone has a different opinion about doing things. Right. So that's why I say it depends.
You do your best. You give them options. You say, this is what I'm telling you that will help you be successful. You can take it or leave it. So I totally understand that. Charles Coulter says, way to go, Risa. Is Risa your nickname? I didn't know that.
Yes. Because so many people murder my name.
Wait, I feel attacked.
No, I'm serious. Everybody murders my name.
Okay, pronounce your name for the masses that are watching. What's your name? How do you say your first name?
It's Layrecia. It's just like how it is, Layrecia.
So what do you get mostly? I know you get Layrecia.
I didn't been called Layreceia, Layreceia, Letitia. It's no T in there. I didn't been called Laris. I didn't been called everything. So I said, hey, please just call me Risa. Risa, just call me Risa.
That's so funny because when I used to call you Layrecia, I used to emphasize the lay so much that I thought I was saying it wrong.
But you were saying it right. And then
one day I just flipped it and just started to say it wrong the whole time.
I know. And I would say, John, just call me Risa. Just call me Risa. But you insisted on saying my name wrong. So we left it like that.
So in summary, you really, I'm glad that you enjoy coaching so much because I know it truly makes you happy. I've watched you when you're in the classroom. You're always smiling, no matter what type of day you're having. Because believe it or not, everyone, we don't always have great days. And I've been on the phone, Layrecia, and she's not having a great day. But as soon as that camera turns on and she's in that class, she smiles and she puts her best foot forward. We have a question from the audience. Taz says, how do you grab your students' attention when they lose focus on their motivation? Ooh,
that's a good
question. How do you remotivate them?
All righty. Depends on the age group. So I'm going to break it down for you. So for my preteens, when they lose focus, I call them out. I say, for example, hey, Jordan, what's going on over there? You're not listening to me. Can you tell me what's going on over there? Jordan tells me what's going on. I say, well, Jordan, can you tell me what this class is about? And Jordan's not too distracted. He's just doing other things, but Jordan tells me what the class is about. I said, okay, Jordan, well, let's stay in touch and keep up with coach and stop being distracted for the time being. We got like 15 minutes of class left, and we go with that.
By the way, if your name is Jordan, she's not talking to you. She just picked a random name.
Oh, I just picked Jordan as an example, so I don't talk to Jordan.
You might have Jordan out there going, Jordan, the coach just called me in front of everybody.
No, coach. But I have a tendency, and when students are not listening or they have their cameras off, I say, hey, is it a problem? Is something going on while your camera's not on? What's distracting you from the class? Because if it's something that's too distracting, if they need to leave, they can go ahead and leave. But if it's just something minor, I look at the clock. I say, hey, can you hang out with me about 30 more minutes? As far as that goes. But I let students know in this life, in today's society, whether you want to or not, you need to listen. You need to follow directions. You need to listen to someone, because if you don't, you mess around and get in trouble. You're going to have to listen to somebody then. So, yes.
All right. So you talked about your preteens. You're going to break it down, and then what we got left?
What we got? Preteens. So with preteens, I just did my elderly as far as my adult group. So my adult groups, the only thing with them, they will ask questions, so if I see what they're like losing or like not focusing, I ask them, hey, what's going on? Because sometimes, they have pets in the background, or they have children or family in the background. I'm like, hey, tell the family, hold on a second. We're going to be done soon, so that's what I tell them. Sometimes you have to call them out,
Courtney Smith says, I'm so proud of you, Mom. You are the best. Shine bright superstar. Did you raise her allowance? Why is she putting that in the chat? You must have raised her allowance or something.
No. This child, she knows I'm a good mom. I told you she took 1.5 years off from work. She just went back a couple months ago. I paid car payment for her, car insurance, credit card, and phone bill. That's a good mom.
Are you adopting? Just want to know, are you adopting?
Really, John, am I adopted?
Well, what's something that you would like to leave here as a motivational tip, or anything else that you would like to add to what you talked about today?
I would say always, believe in yourself. Even when you feel like you're not able to do something, just try it anyway. Always try. Like I tell my students, don't say I can't. should not have been in the dictionary at all, because you can do something. You can try to do it. And as far as, going somewhere, smile, always smile. Always go in a room, smile, always show up smiling, because you don't know what kind of day somebody else is having, and your smile can brighten their day. So always smile, always be professional, always be polite, courteous, and and just be very positive. Stay positive and believe in yourself.
All right, awesome. Well, Layrecia,
don't chuck over there, John.
No. Congratulations on winning Coach of the Month. You have a beautiful little embroidered certificate coming your way. We love that you're a part of the team. You're an awesome coach, or else you wouldn't be on here right now. All our coaches are awesome, but only one can be Coach of the Month. So Layrecia Smith was Coach of the Month for August. Tune in a couple weeks. You're going to see Coach of the Month, Brandon Winston, who won Coach of the Month for September. Also, we will not be doing Student Spotlight next week. We will be doing it in 2 weeks. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you click the notification button to see when we're doing Student Spotlights, when we're doing Coach of the Month, and when we're doing Industry Talk. Make sure when you come and watch these coaches, you get a chance to ask them questions, ask anything you want. Love having you here, Layrecia. Everyone that came by and watched, we had a pretty good packed house. Thank you all for coming to celebrate her. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope the Cowboys lose.
Thank you, guys. Good night.